Tom Aspinall moves like a cat.
The time was not only finding trade. Oh! What a
There he is!
In the field of combat sports, Tom Aspinall is establishing new benchmarks in the UFC heavyweight division.
The toll that kind of fight has taken on him.
Oh, and he's broken his leg.
Oh.
But the Gulf states are renowned for establishing trends in the automobile sector. The British fighter has swiftly become one of the most powerful forces in the sport,
only finding trade. Oh! What a finish! That's it! What?
thanks to their amazing combination of quickness, power, and technical skill. The Rise of Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall, who was born in Greater Manchester, England in 1993, was exposed to martial arts at an early age. His growth was greatly aided by his father, a Brazilian black belt in jiu-jitsu. Tom began using the mats at the age of 6, and by the time he was 11, he was switching between grappling, wrestling, and boxing. He joined Team Kaobon, a gym that produces top-tier UFC fighters, while he was a teenager. Aspinall, who weighed more than 230 pounds at the age of 18, set out to rule the amateur circuit. By winning 5 of 6 amateur bouts in the opening round, he immediately established himself. Becoming the first British UFC heavyweight champion was his obvious objective. Initial professional experience and obstacles. In 2014, Aspinall made his professional debut, showcasing his versatility with quick finishes. He showed that he could dominate grappling matches, land powerful blows, and counter takedowns. His ascent wasn't without difficulties, though. Aspinall demonstrated strong hitting in a fight against judo expert Stuart Austin, but he was submitted via leg lock. He took a year off to hone his ground defense techniques after this defeat forced him to reevaluate them. Reminiscent of Jon Jones' notorious early career blunder, he was disqualified for an illegal 12-6 elbow in his return fight. He overcame this setback by winning by knockout, solidifying his status as a formidable opponent. From nearly giving up to Tyson Fury training. Even though he was successful, Aspinall's career stagnated as fights continued to go awry, which made him consider leaving mixed martial arts. He felt a great deal of pressure to support his family, particularly with twins on the way. He started boxing in search of financial security and trained with heavyweight world champion Tyson Fury. Aspinall's promise was acknowledged by Fury's team, and their influence helped elevate his striking to a superior level. Aspinall signed with Cage Warriors, the leading promotion in the UK, after being encouraged by his father to give MMA another go. In 2019, he made a spectacular comeback, dominating contests. The UFC took notice of his achievements and gave him a chance to compete on the greatest MMA stage in the world in 2020. Controlling the UFC heavyweight class. Oh, we've got ourselves a serious prospect here. Look at this. Boom! A beautiful knee to the midsection and bang bang, 1-2 right on the chin. He never stood a chance. The moment that knee landed, it was game over. Bang! Right into the midsection. And here comes the 1-2, crisply delivered, absolutely clinical. And you gotta love how he measured that right hand early. Just a touch, just 50% power, filling out the range, and then, bam! He buries that midsection shot with full force. Precision, power, pure devastation. In just 45 seconds, Aspinall made his UFC debut against Jay Collier. He received a Performance of the Night bonus because his speed and accuracy outperformed his opponent. His second bout went similarly, with him defeating his opponent in 94 seconds. He was immediately paired against former heavyweight champion Andrei Arlovski by UFC matchmakers. Aspinall's most difficult test to date came against Arlovski, a seasoned athlete with almost 20 years of experience. In the second round, Aspinall secured a takedown and forced a tap with a rear naked choke after adapting mid-fight despite Arlovski's durability. He moved up into the top 15 of the division with this victory, making my way up the contender ladder. Wow, what a moment for the pudding heavyweight contender. Generating that kind of power from such close range, absolutely incredible. And when you look at his last 3 victims, every single one of them crumbled under his relentless pressure.
Oh wait, look at that! It's an elbow! Yes, a perfectly timed, beautiful elbow in tight, and boom! It lands flush. That's twice now we've seen him pull that off. Tom Aspinall does it again. What a finish! Sergey Spivak, a formidable grappler with a 3-fight winning run, was the next opponent Aspinall fought. Aspinall took control of the battle right away with his superior punching, finally stopping Spivak in the first round with a knee and elbow combination. He faced former Bellator champion Alexander Volkov as the main attraction in a UFC London event, continuing his ascent to fame. It was anticipated that Volkov, with his tall frame and strong striking, would be a formidable opponent, but Aspinall closed the distance fast, performed perfect takedowns, and won via armlock submission in less than a round. His standing as one of the division's most versatile fighters was cemented by this outstanding performance. A career-threatening injury and triumphant return. 5 minutes on the clock and here we go! Wearing red, it's Blades, and across from him, look at this! The fight clock is brought to you by Modelo, and Tom Aspinall promised he'd push the pace early, but he's got to be careful. Oh, Curtis Blades just landed 2 huge right hands! Aspinall's next fight against Curtis Blades was meant to be a title eliminator, but disaster struck just seconds into the bout. A routine low kick resulted in a severe knee injury, tearing his meniscus and MCL. The injury forced him to take a year off, undergoing surgery and rehabilitation. Upon his return in 2023, Aspinall faced Marcin Tybura in London. Many questioned whether he could regain his pre-injury form. Those doubts were quickly put to rest as he obliterated Tybura in just 73 seconds, proving he was still a top contender. The temporary UFC heavyweight title. The UFC arranged for Aspinall and Sergey Pavlovich to face for the interim championship after Jon Jones was injured and unable to defend his belt against Stipe Miocic. With 6 consecutive knockouts under his belt, the Russian behemoth was one of the division's most feared punchers. With only 2 weeks' notice, Aspinall demonstrated his versatility and combat IQ. After taking in Pavlovich's initial aggression, he executed a well-timed right hand and ended the bout in 69 seconds. With this triumph, he fulfilled a pledge he had made 10 years prior and became the interim UFC heavyweight champion. What will happen to Aspinall next? As the UFC is pushing for Jon Jones versus Miocic, Aspinall's future is still up in the air despite owning the interim title. Aspinall stays busy training the upcoming generation of fighters at his father's gym and expanding his YouTube channel while he waits for his chance at unification. He is one of the most versatile heavyweights in UFC history thanks to his combination of speed, power, and grappling skills. If he keeps going in this direction, we might be seeing the beginning of the Aspinall period. Heavyweight MMA's future. Tom Aspinall has had an incredible journey from local fighter to UFC champion. His quick finishes, superb grappling, and versatility make him a symbol of the new generation of heavyweights. There is little doubt that Tom Aspinall is here to stay and may be the most formidable man on the earth at the moment, regardless of whether he unifies the title against Jon Jones or keeps establishing his reputation against other competitors.